Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. That favorite time of the week where ya boys, Ryan Welch and Triple J, John Jefferson Jr., a.k.a. the handsome chosen one.
Super handsome chosen one. You were doing so good.
I shortened it down.
Okay, that's fair.
I know I was doing good. You know what? Unless you write an index card for me, then it's just going to go out the window. And I'm just going to do the best that I can.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No one does. Who has index cards nowadays?
That's a thing still?
Apparently. Not for us.
Can I Google it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Google how to write on an index card.
Yeah.
No, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another episode of the Enter Code Podcast. We are here in northern Utah, just two dads, nerding out, having a good time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, going for some laughs, enjoying talking about stuff and things.
Some things and stuff.
And we hope you enjoy it too. So, as we always do at the beginning of every episode, we want to remind you that we would love any feedback that you have for us, both positive and negative. Let us know on our social media websites. We are on Twitter and we are on Facebook at EnterCodePod. We're also on Anchor.fm. That's our podcast home. So if you search Enter Code Podcast, then you can leave us a voicemail. And we're also on Instagram, if anyone does that, Graham.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I tried.
I tried to. It's hard.
It is. It's a whole nother beast. For me, Twitter is simple, and it's what I like. It's like always up to date. There's always something to look at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Facebook's. We won't talk about Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
but I would say Facebook and Twitter were on there most of the time. So leave us a comment there. Let us know what you think of this episode and any of our previous episodes, or if you want to suggest something for us to talk about. Because this episode, we have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Oh, and before we forget,
Oh, yes.
we do have to plug our YouTube channel that we started as well.
Oh, woo woo!
Yeah, so, we're on there having fun, doing some toy unboxing. We're also, uploading our podcast episodes as well, so that way you just have more exposure to it.
That's right.
So just spread the word.
We are looking to have unboxing videos every Monday and every Friday until the well runs dry. And then we...
That's going to be a thing?
Yes, please let it be a thing. Our wallets need it to be a thing. We need a break.
Then what are we going to do?
Unbox canned goods?
No.
Okay, well, we're not going to have a foodie channel. And so we're uploading old podcast episodes, and we're going to get to that point where we can also upload new ones as soon as we get to it.
It's a process.
Yes.
It's our new venture.
Yeah, for me, I guess I was a little surprised that YouTube doesn't do MP3s. I mean, I get it. It's video. They want MP4s, but I figured it would be an option to at least put just the audio file. So anyway, we're converting. We're getting through as quick as we can. Just remember, go to Anchor.fm or Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Stitcher. We're on a number of them. Just search for Enter Code Pod and you'll be able to get this episode. So it's been a week. It's been a very interesting week.
Mm-hmm. That's an understatement.
That is. Now I'm gonna I'm gonna respect the super chosen handsome one, and I won't get into politics.
Thank you.
Although I want to.
Oh no.
The only thing I'm gonna say is congratulations to the American people who turned out in droves to vote this year.
Yes.
I think that's something we need to celebrate.
Our voices were heard.
Yes. Besides the early vote record, I think the number of early votes that went in through the mail-in ballots broke a record, but just the number of turnout on election day. Millions of people went out and voted, and I think that's cool. I think that's super cool, and I just hope it continues. I guess I'm tired of that. Oh, I didn't vote.
If you don't vote, you have no say.
Just vote. Do vote the best you can, and this year was pretty incredible seeing all those people vote. So
good
bravo,
job, America.
Good job, America.
America.
That's it. That's all you want to talk about, though.
What?
Moving on. I was just giving you a chance, man. It's okay. It's all right. You don't have to. Just find me on Twitter, on Facebook, and we'll have lots of discussions if you want, because I got thoughts. But
yeah, we ain't political on here. Sorry.
I know. It's okay. We can be. Okay, never mind. We're that
he's
look.
trying, guys.
I'm just saying.
That look he just gave me.
I know. I guess as I find, more gray hairs popping up, I find myself thinking, am I doing a disservice to other people by not saying anything? You know what I mean? Not speaking out against evil and bad things that are going on.
See what I have to work with?
I know. Anyway, it's just a thought. I do have some more gray in my mustache, by the way.
I knew it.
It's a little jarring. But it gets you thinking about things. That's all. Anyway, I'll have conversations with y'all if you want it. You can find me on social media. But no, we have a couple other things that we wanted to talk about for this week's episode. First topic is next week. We have finally the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 coming out.
Oh, it's going to be so crazy.
It's going to be great. November 10th for the Xbox, November 12th for the PlayStation 5. Mm-hmm. Now, I wanted to bring this up because we have had multiple episodes about the console, what we are excited for, what we're looking for, what information we want, because, these things aren't cheap, so we kind of need to make the right choice with our money. It's kind of important. So what I wanted to talk about here in the first part, John, is some of the tests that various websites ran.
Okay.
Comparing the Xbox and the PlayStation. Now, we know that these guys are going to be technical marvels in that they are going to be pretty incredible for consoles. We all know that PCs are going to run better. There's better parts. There's better graphics. Like, we get it. We get it. But the idea of a console having something really good that you don't have to upgrade is pretty nice. And that's why, again, we've talked about this before, but that's why we have consoles. Well, it's kind of feeling like these next-gen consoles that are coming out are going to get us kind of close to, what you could get with a computer. You know what I mean?
We're getting there.
We're getting there. My PC is kind of old, but I can get the frame rates up a little bit, and it looks decent for the graphics. It sounded like these consoles are going to be way better. So one of the big questions that has been on everyone's mind is the speed test. So people have wondered, is it fast? Are we going to have these long load times? Developers from both sides have said it's going to be fast. So places like GameStop has finally did some tests. So on GameSpot.com, they tested a number of older games, and we have times. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just to name a couple. Batman Arkham Knight, fantastic game. On the PS5, it takes 41 seconds from the time you launch the menu to the time you get to, the time you launch the game to the time you get to the menu.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. On the Xbox, it's 40 seconds. Okay. When you get to the menu to your save, it's 17 seconds on the PS5, 11 seconds on the Series X on the Xbox. Okay. So, Final Fantasy V, known for super lightning, quick load times, right? Oh, did I say 5?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
5. You went back, ladies and gentlemen.
I did. It doesn't help to look at one Roman numeral. You have to look at them both. It's okay. I'm good at math.
Math.
Final Fantasy 15, known for very long load times. From the menu to the save on the PS5, it's 25 seconds. From the Xbox Series X, it's 10 seconds.
That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Ugh.
Right? The only thing I wish we had were times on the PS4 and on the regular Xbox.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have that on this article, but again, we're giving you just an idea. On Monster Hunter World, another one that usually has long load times, 13 seconds to get from the menu to your save, 6 seconds on the Xbox Series X. So, John,
mm-hmm.
the one game that they have on this article where, it was a tiny bit slower on the Xbox is Red Dead Redemption 2. So PlayStation 5, it took about 34 seconds to get from the menu to your save load. And then on the Xbox, it was 36 seconds. So based on this and other websites' tests, it's looking like the Xbox is faster. Does it matter to you?
I don't think so, because I mean, I'm impressed by the margin, but they're both still going to be way faster than what we're used to right now.
Yeah.
And that's really what I'm wanting. Like, especially some of these games like Monster Hunter, it takes forever loading. I mean, even just trying to go and do your mission, it's like, okay,
Right.
please hurry up.
Minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Sometimes longer. I think Avengers is like 3 minutes or something like that to load up once you launch it to get everything going.
Avengers takes forever.
So yeah, you're absolutely right. Seconds between the two, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're getting spoiled by these things because we have been used to long load times for so long. And it's sounding like downloads are going to be a little faster too on both machines. Both machines are quieter. It's sounding like with these speed tests, yes, the Xbox is faster. Does it matter? Probably not. Not really. It matters on the Flame Wars, when you're online and you're trying to say Xbox is better, or, Xbox best box, or if you're a Sony boy and PlayStation's better. It's right now we're going to be spoiled by what we have. And with these new consoles.
Oh, yes.
And that's going to be incredible.
I just want to get my hands on one.
I know. There's plenty of videos, kind of funnies. Coverage of both systems have been good. I'd recommend those. GameSpot's been great. IGN has a lot of videos as well. There's a lot of great creators out there that have done unboxings and things like that. We want to do an unboxing as well whenever we get a chance to.
Lord willing, we will get our hands on one, and you will see it on our YouTube.
Yes, you will. We'll record a video of unboxing and putting it on our on our YouTube channel. Bottom line, then, I guess, if you had a choice, probably PlayStation still. Would you say?
I'm still gonna go PlayStation.
Okay. All right. Then how about you tell the people this? In your opinion, what do you think you need to have everything you would want for launch? What games should you buy? Do you get the extra controller? Do you get the media remote? What do you, as a dad and also as a gamer, what do you think? What would you suggest to the people what they get?
For me, everybody's different. I don't need the media remote because I never use that in my other consoles.
Mm-hmm.
And most streaming stuff I'm gonna have already on my TV, so I have that remote.
Yeah.
I would probably want an extra controller because I'd want to be able to play with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, launch title, Miles Morales.
Oh, yes.
You're going to have the PlayStation Plus collection, so all those great hits are going to be awesome.
20? Over 20.
Over 20.
Okay, yeah.
So like Last of Us, Uncharted,
yeah.
All those big titles.
Almost the same as 100 on Game Pass, but that's fine.
I mean, it's
whatever.
okay. Half the games on Game Pass I don't even touch.
Wow, I don't even get you riled up anymore when I say that.
I'm not fazed by you. Come on.
Wow, man. I was waiting all day to just drop that pun and nothing. I got no reaction. Anyway, keep going. Keep going.
I mean, and some of the games on your PS4 will play on the PS5.
Yes.
Sad part is, and Ryan does give me a hard time about this, that you will have to use your PS4 controller to play those games.
Yeah.
So you can't use the DualSense on the PS4 games. But
so can you? So you can't even use the controller just to use the controller? Like, it can't be like a normal one where it doesn't do the vibrations of the DualSense or anything?
No.
Oh, that's disappointing. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought maybe because the idea behind the new controller is it kind of takes games into a little more immersive.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of what I'm thinking because it, the feel of it, the shock of it, the using it kind of almost like in some motion controls in a way.
Yeah.
Especially with like Astro's Playroom.
Yes.
which is included with your PlayStation. I thought maybe you could just use it as a normal controller on PS4.
Not from what I've been reading up and hearing about. So
gosh, that's disappointing.
That's my biggest gripe, but it's okay. I'll survive.
Yes, they pop up on sale frequently. Maybe not the really fancy different colored ones, but like the normal black one, I think is usually on sale, like on Amazon and other stores and stuff like that. So yeah, not a deal breaker, but you're gonna want to need one for sure.
Oh yeah.
I think for PlayStation, I would definitely agree, especially with Astro and with Sackboy. You know, Sackboy is coming out. That's a launch title too. You'll need that second controller. Miles Morales as well. You're gonna definitely want that. It's about 8 to 10 hours. You know, just for the storyline. It's a bit shorter, but if you get the deluxe edition, then you have, you know, the first Spider-Man game, which lots of content, hours of content, and stuff like that. Yeah, I agree with you. I think, you know, you do need to spend a little extra to get the extra controller and some games. If you're getting the Xbox Series X, you know, the sad part is there aren't really a lot of like launch titles with the Xbox, right? Like everything kind of got pushed back thanks to COVID, and you know, you have Game Pass games that will play and run way better on the Xbox than on the original Xbox, for example. But you don't have a lot of launch titles where you're like, yes, I gotta get that. So with the Xbox Series X, I would say the only thing you have to have is Game Pass.
Yeah.
That's like the only must that you have. Your old controllers are going to work just fine. Your other old peripherals are going to work just fine. But you want to take advantage of all those games that you can play, you know, day one. So PlayStation, you're probably going to have to spend a little more money to have a really good launch experience and a good setup. But, you know, Xbox, you just Game Pass is what you need. So
that's why we have options.
We do. Keep in mind that from my understanding, from my sources, I have sources, aka the internet. The only way that you can get a console on launch is if buying it online.
Yeah.
That's my understanding.
Thank you, COVID. Pretty much everything is online. Like even with us at my job, it's online.
Yeah. Walmart is going to have 4 different times where they're going to release some for you to purchase of the Xbox and I believe the PlayStation as well. GameStop, I think, is going to be online only. Target's going to be online only. I talked to a customer service rep with Microsoft and they said the same exact thing. They said that it was going to take... It was all going to be online on launch day.
So many servers are going to crash.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. So if you haven't ordered it yet, just be ready. Be ready to order it online. Don't go into stores. They're not going to be in the stores. Everything's going to be online and shipped to you.
Save yourself a headache. Like, yes. Do you have it? Do you have it? No. You're going to be very discouraged and upset with the salesperson. Yeah. Yes. Oh, you know what? That brings up 2 more points. First point, don't get mad at the salesperson. They're trying to do their job. COVID made everything absolutely insane with this launch. Yes. They can't do what they normally do. So don't yell at them if they don't have stock. You know, just be kind to each other. Be empathetic and, you know, just listen to them. They might know when stock's coming, for example. But if you're not nice, we're not going to tell you nothing. I know, right? No soup for you. No soup for you. And then the last thing I would say is, once again, with these consoles, they are not cheap. You know, $400 for the all digital versions of the PlayStation 5. The disc version is $500. The Xbox Series S is $300 and the X is $500. These things are not cheap. So whatever you do, take some advice from some gamer dads here in Northern Utah. Just double check with your spouse, with your significant other, with your loved ones.
I mean, even check in with friends. You know, if all your friends are getting a PlayStation, you're not going to have anyone to play on Xbox, right? You just have to keep things in mind. Not only money, but who are you going to play with?
Right.
You know, because...
It's not fun to just play by yourself.
Correct. I mean, Call of Duty comes out next week. You know, that little indie title that could.
Indie title.
It's you know, you want the box that's going to help you play with your friends, basically.
Yeah.
So, anyway, hope that advice helps. Good luck. I would love to hear how your experience goes if you're getting it. So, please leave us a comment on social media or on, well, man, if you see us in person. I think mostly we have a lot of friends and family that are listeners of this show, and we really appreciate that. So I would love to hear your thoughts next week on how it goes, especially with everything going online. It'd be really interesting to see everyone's experience. Or maybe everyone's good with the Switch and they're not even going to get these. I mean,
I still enjoy my Switch.
I know. I think, again, COVID messed with so many launch windows that, you know, I think a little bit of the excitement is not there, especially on the Xbox side. You know, there's still some excitement for PlayStation 5 because we have Miles Morales and they have some, you know, Sackboy and Demon's Souls remake. You know, there's some good, you know, launches there. You know, I think for me, Miles Morales is the only, like, you know, OMG, you know, I have to have it. But, you know, I think if this was a different time and there wasn't a pandemic, then we would be talking more about what, you know, games you're going to play and, oh man, what am I going to budget this time for this game and what am I going to try first, what am I going to do second. I mean, it's kind of cut and dry, you know, you're going to play Spider-Man and you're going to enjoy it.
And you're going to have fun.
Yes, exactly right. Well, the last thing we wanted to bring up is we have on our YouTube channel, or actually coming up soon on our YouTube channel, I should say, we are unboxing a Hasbro Pulse exclusive Lord Draken Mighty Morphin Power Ranger figure. And if you don't know who that is, there is a comic book line called The Shattered Grid. It's kind of like a I don't want to say multiverse, but it's set in an alternate dimension where Tommy the Green Ranger goes bad, right?
Well, I mean, he was bad, but this is if he never became good.
That's true. So the figure we're unboxing, maybe Friday. We'll post it.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah,
we'll see.
I think Friday of next week. We're filming. Today's the 7th, by the way. So just to keep you, I forget. We should probably put dates in there of when we record, and you know what I mean. So it kind of got us thinking about talking about Power Rangers as a final, you know, topic of discussion. We're both big fans of Power Rangers. Like, when I said this in a previous episode, but when growing up, before school, you know, my mom didn't want me to watch cartoons. And so the only show that was on in the morning before elementary school was Power Rangers. So I got to watch, you know, and I got to finish an episode, you know, they were only 30 minutes. So got to watch an entire episode before school and grew up with Jason and the original team. Mm-hmm. So we kind of wanted to discuss kind of our thoughts about Power Rangers. What do we love? Where do we see it going?
Why is it still around?
That's you know, probably something we want to talk about first. Why do you think it's still around after all these years? 20 plus years.
What is it, 25?
Is it 25?
I think so.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
25 years. Jeez,
crazy.
Man.
Like, they still got, I mean, there's another season coming out, next year, I think?
Yep, that's right.
So, you know, it's interesting just kind of reflecting back on this, and Ryan kind of laughed when I said, hey, let's talk about this, and he's like, we can talk about that for like 5 minutes, and I was like, bro, forget who you're talking to, I can talk about this all day.
I was gonna say, and you know, we won't do this tonight, but John did mention that he could give you a rundown of, from top to bottom, best to worst seasons.
Oh, yeah. But you guys don't want to hear that, right?
No. I mean, do we have 5 hours? Because they might want that. Who knows?
Right. But just kind of to further answer your question, I think it's still... What's great about it is like people like us from our generation that grew up with it, they got their kids hooked on it. So their kids are growing up with this kooky, doesn't make sense. My wife laughs because she doesn't think the costumes are great, which I get it. They're not high quality, but that's part of the appeal to it. I mean, it's not going to be like your Marvel Cinematic Universe costume, but the characters, you can relate to them. They're all teenagers dealing with stuff that you deal with or you dealt with at that age. I mean, you know, the adult looking in, obviously these people are way too old to be playing teenagers, but, you know, that's part of the magic.
It's part of the magic.
And one of the things that's helped too is the comics. The comics have taken this to like a whole nother level, because instead of, you know, changing the cast, they stayed with the original team of Jason, Kimberly, Billy, Zach, and Trini, and, you know, and Tommy, and, you know, their progress of how they've gone, how they stayed together, and then the introduction of Lord Draken, of this alternate timeline Tommy, where instead of him joining the Rangers and become a good guy, he stays with Rita, and he actually overthrows her and gets power hungry, and he learns about all these different realities, or not different realities, but different Power Ranger universes. So, you know, kind of what Ryan was talking about with the Shattered Grid, is he's going around and stealing all these powers and becoming like a Power Ranger god. And it's just, it's interesting, and there's like all these new storylines that they've tapped into. They've been crossovers, like they've had crossovers with the Ninja Turtles, with the Justice League,
even Jason was in, or not was in, is going to be in a future episode. I want to say it's like the season premiere of...
Oh yeah, he's in the...
Beast Morphers?
Beast Morphers season 2.
Mm-hmm. And they also have some of the Rangers from the previous one, the Dino Charge.
Yeah.
So yeah, they still find ways to have some kind of crossover.
Yeah,
you know?
We haven't seen Austin St. John, the actor who plays Jason, in Power Rangers since like Power Rangers Zeo, and this is like in the 90s.
Did he show up in the Red Ranger episode? I can't remember which one it was.
Well, he was in that, sorry.
But still, that was like...
That was like a quick cameo.
Correct. And we're, like you said, 25 plus years that Power Rangers has been around. It almost hurts me a little bit when I try to show my kids the older series, so the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and then they don't show as much interest as I do, you know, into it, and I'm just like, oh, you guys are spoiled by up-to-date graphics,
right?
And flashier costumes.
Like, I had that experience, like when my daughter was younger, like she would watch it with me, but then as she got older, she was like, okay, I'm bored, I don't like this. And I was like, oh, but this is my childhood. And you know, as a dad, you're like, I want you to experience the same things that I did when I was a kid that I loved.
That's right.
And, you know, now we watch her weird cookie shows, but it's okay.
There's so many weird shows out there. I mean, even with all the seasons and all the different iterations of Power Rangers, I mean, it always kind of follows the same flow, you know. You start with 5 teenagers, then it grows to 6.
There's always a 6, or sometime there's...
Dino Charge had like 11 at some point, which was
Dino
crazy.
Charge got ridiculous.
It did. It very much did. But I think it because of how ridiculous it was, that's why, you know, Declan, that was his favorite growing up. He wanted to watch Dino Charge. Loved Dino Charge. He'll still throw it on every once in a while because it's, you know, lots of Rangers, lots of different villains, and, you know, it's fun. You know, dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's ridiculous hearing like 2 grown men talking about this, but there's such a huge following. Like, there are people our age, people older, people younger, and we just all have the same passion and love for this franchise.
That's right.
And there's even talk of a new movie coming out, so they're going to try and do a Power Rangers cinematic universe.
I actually brought up that story. I'm glad you brought it up.
Oh, see, there we go.
So from Screen Rant, Titans co-producer Brian Edward Hill has signed on to write the upcoming Power Rangers reboot. The Power Rangers franchise emerged from the Japanese series Super Sentai in the early 1990s, leading to the television show Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, while that show continues on with season 28 arriving next year. So, dude, it's like over 25 years. How nuts is
28 seasons of a show.
Right. The franchise itself has grown to epic proportions over the years. Power Rangers, which follows a group of teens given superpowers and color-coded suits as they defend the Earth from alien threats, now spans film, television, video games, and comic books. So, that brings up a lot of questions.
Okay.
Now, I think we are among the few.
The proud.
I'm not a Marine.
Well, Power Ranger fans?
Yeah, the few, the proud, the Power Ranger fans. Back in, was it 2017 when the movie came out? 2016? 2017. So 2017, they tried to do a reboot of the franchise. They did a couple different things, made the technology more alien. So the look of the suits were more alien, but the cast and characters the cast that they did to portray the characters were really good.
Yeah. Like I really enjoyed that movie. I know it didn't do well to like relaunch the franchise,
right. Right. I guess the big question I have is, do they attempt to make a sequel at this point? Or, I mean, when they say reboot, are we going like full Star Wars where we don't talk about that part of the universe? We're making our own.
About that. From my understanding, because enough with reboots. For me, I want them to already be like established, because we all know how Power Rangers got their start.
Yeah,
we know that lore.
Yes,
and I think from what I read, just things I've been reading up on social media and whatnot, is like the Rangers are going to go back to the 90 area. And just kind of like a time warp of like interacting with that. So I don't know if it's going to be like the same team or a different team interacting with the original, but it's going to be more that 90s feel.
So I wonder if that means they're going to go animated with it. So instead of trying to do live action,
do like a Into the Spider-Verse kind of thing.
Do some kind of computer animated or even just traditional hand-drawn animations. Because I can't imagine that, making these series are cheap. Like, it's expensive, you know?
Yeah.
I always remember growing up with the original Power Rangers, where they did use footage from the Super Sentai TV show. And that's why it was kind of funny where the Yellow Ranger was a male and was not female. But they made the Yellow Ranger female. Obviously, Trini was the original Yellow Ranger. And so, it kind of makes me wonder, especially now that you said that, how they're going to reboot everything. I don't think they're going to touch the comics, because they've been going on a run. They have like 2 really good comic series right now featuring the original
Mighty
Rangers.
Morphin, and then you got Power Rangers.
Yep, that's right. Boom Studios?
Yes.
Yep, is that right? Really, really, really good comics, and the Power Rangers franchise works really well in comic form. So it just kind of makes, especially since you said that about the rumors, it just kind of makes me wonder, like, do we transition at some point away from live action, and do we stick to animated, or do we try to have, a live action version? Like,
you got options.
You have options. I think I worry about live action because, sometimes the studios go overboard when they try to recreate the 90s, and it's just a little too cheesy. Like, I get it. The 90s were cheesy. We grew up in the 90s. I totally understand that. But, it's kind of going a little overboard into like the stereotypical, 90s. And it's like, I don't know. So anyway, so thinking about that, what you said, it just kind of makes me wonder, are they going live action, animated? I mean, would you care? I mean, 28 years of live action is a lot. I mean, would you care if it went animated at all?
To be honest with you, I'm going to watch it regardless. I don't care what it is.
Oh, you hear that, Hasbro?
Yeah.
We obviously we're fans of the Lightning collection of Power Rangers, the collectibles brand, and it would be interesting if they did transition to cartoons. What would they do with their merch? Because part of what sells is the merchandise, the toys that the kids buy. And what, something to, I think why they kind of reboot so often, or they have new iterations so often, is so they can sell more toys.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry, excuse me.
It's all about the merch.
You gotta buy it. When was that? I think a month ago or two. Like, there were some Netflix officials that like flat out admitted like some of the reasons why they don't reboot things or they don't have a second season or a third season is because merchandise doesn't sell. You know what I mean? But then you have crazy stuff like Stranger Things that sell like tons of merchandise, so they'll milk that as much as they possibly can.
And heck, speaking of Stranger Things, I was playing the game because it was on Game Pass. It's actually pretty fun.
Oh, the pixelated one, kind of the. Oh, look at you! I need to watch it.
You haven't watched it?
No. What? I know.
What's wrong with you?
So, my wife Manuela is not a huge fan of scary movies, and so I think at first glance she wasn't, and I wasn't 100% sure how close it got to like horror.
It's more suspense. I mean, towards the end, it does get more like horror.
Yes, yeah. And so I know that now, just at the time when it came out, I was just like, I don't think she's going to like it. But now more and more that I'm seeing of it, I'm like, oh, I'm sure she'll like it. There's some tense moments in there for sure, but...
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I guess, what is it, 4 seasons? I got to catch up on?
3 seasons.
Oh, okay. Oh, because 4th one's coming up.
Yes.
Unless COVID got it, who knows at this point. We enjoy the TV series, the comics, the action figures. So, do you also want to see it return to theaters? And if so, same thing as a TV show? You don't need like origin stories or anything, just kind of continuing adventures. Like, what would you like? What would get you into the theater to watch a Power Rangers movie?
Coming to a theater near you, Power Rangers.
That's it.
I'm that loyal.
Wow, dude. Okay. I'm trying to make some suspense here for the podcast.
No. I mean, when the one in 2017 came out, when they were announcing it, I was just like, oh, they're doing this? Cool.
Yep.
And the fact that, like, a group of my buddies wanted to go and see it, and we just had, like, a whole row of ourselves, and we're sitting there geeking out, and, like, everything that happened, we're just like, oh! And, like, it was like, it paid respect to the original series.
Yes.
But it had its own spin to it. And you're just like, oh. Okay. It's almost kind of like Spider-Man. Like, they wake up and they're like jacked and ripped and they have all these super abilities. And I was like, they didn't really do that in the other one. Like, they just only had their abilities when they were in their costumes.
Yep.
But they could all do martial arts.
Right. Well, except poor Billy.
I mean, he learned.
Eventually.
He got better.
He did. Yeah, he got better. But the suit kind of helped him with his abilities as well. No, I would love to see. That's where I'm kind of torn, because I would love to see at least one more of that 2017 cast. I would love to see maybe one more movie. It just, we're getting to, it'll be 4 years next year since it came out.
Yeah.
Probably not going to happen. And some of the stars have gotten a little bigger, I think, too. Pink Ranger was Jasmine.
Yeah.
And has been in a bunch of movies.
The Red Ranger, he was in Stranger Things, and he's been doing some other things too. And they've all just kind of been. The Yellow Ranger, I think she's like a singer now. So
yes.
She's doing like.
Oh yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
So they're kind of moving on, and I admit I enjoyed Bill Hader as Alpha.
Oh yeah.
It works so well.
He was great.
He's great at anything. So yeah, I just, if they do a movie, it's probably going to be kind of another reboot origin type thing, and so I don't know. Reboot Secret of the Ooze, man. Oh, see. What's his name?
You mean Ivan Ooze?
Ivan Ooze, yes.
So you think about Ninja Turtles.
I am. So recording in John's office in his home. He's got some Ninja Turtle figures that I'm staring at. So
he's drooling at them. Correction.
No, you have Donatello, and I need him. I need him very badly. I think what's interesting about the news is, there definitely are a lot of possibilities where it can go. It's just kind of a question of how many risks they want to take. What can they pull off? I mean, your toy line and your comic line are fine. Just leave it. It's just really, at this point, do you continue the TV show? Do you try to branch out to movies? What sells? Do you do exclusive rights to Netflix? Is that a way to make money? Just interesting, Power Rangers is hopefully going to continue on for even longer than 28 years. And, we just want to see it grow. We want to see it do good things. I need more monsters to be made into the Lightning Collection.
Yes, I do need some more of those monsters. We need more villains. There's definitely a lot more Rangers than there are villains in that line.
Yeah. They recently announced and actually put up for pre-order recently 2 of the classic Mighty Morphin Power Ranger villains. So one is King Sphinx and the other is the Pumpkin Rapper.
Which the Pumpkin Rapper cracks me up because he comes with pumpkins that you can put on the Rangers' heads, like they're being controlled by him. I was like, that is awesome.
You look up on your favorite GIF program. If you just type in Power Rangers, you're going to automatically see one of the Rangers with pumpkins on their heads just being over dramatic, like as they were prone to do in the series. So seeing a couple of those would be nice. I mean, maybe we can wrap up with that. What else do you, besides villains, is there specific villains you want to see?
I want Rito Repulsa.
Okay, not the 2-pack though. No, you want a new one?
Rito.
Oh, I thought you said Rita.
I would like a separate Rita too.
Oh, okay.
Rito. I would like Rito. Okay. I would like some of the Tengus.
Okay.
Maybe see some of the Ninja Rangers. So those forms.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to see maybe more of the side characters. Not side characters, but give me Ninja.
Oh, okay.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
And give me some of the Rangers that you probably don't expect to see, like the Phantom Ranger or some of these other 6th Rangers. I mean, they've started 1 or 2 characters in each of the different teams, and there's still all these other characters from all these different lines that they haven't even touched yet.
Right.
And I think it would be cool to see some Megazords or some vehicles. One of the things for me that I always love, which I have now, is the original Power Rangers had the bikes with the little sidecars.
Oh,
so that would be something to see done in the Lightning Collection.
That's true. We've seen in the Lightning Collection, it was an Amazon exclusive, but it was the one-wheel bike that was it SPD? Is that the Ranger you have up there?
The Omega Ranger.
Omega Ranger, thank you. So, maybe they did that as kind of a test the waters to see, but more vehicles would be cool.
Yeah.
I would love to have, appropriate to scale, just the Zords in general that you can put them in, especially with the original. I don't know if you have the ability to put them together. I mean, if they added that ability...
If they put them to scale where the figures would fit, that'd be nuts.
That'd be insane. It'd be super tall and humongous.
It'd be a ridiculous price tag, too.
Oh my gosh, don't even talk about the price. I definitely do want to see more monsters. I kind of want to see what the Pumpkin Rapper... I out of the 2 monsters I mentioned, I only pre-ordered the Pumpkin Rapper.
Which he has sold out now.
Yes, he is. And King Sphinx is too.
Yeah.
I want to see what they are to scale, because the monsters are usually supposed to be a little bigger than the Rangers. So I want to be able to hopefully they're menacing enough that they can have more monsters. There's a couple, especially of the original series, some of Rita's side posse.
Squat and Babu.
Yes.
Finster.
Finster. I would want Finster over Squat and Babu. But if you're going to do it, might as well do a 2-pack.
Yeah.
Or, do a 3-pack of them.
I'm okay with this.
Right? Make it $60. Just do a 3-pack.
That'd be worth it.
It would. It just kind of rounds out, because I think we're almost there in terms of having, close to what you can get out of the original. Rangers. Like you mentioned, there's a lot more Rangers in a lot of the series that we haven't seen yet. But, we're getting in, I want to say December, January, we're getting more 2-packs of a good Ranger and a bad guy, So it would be kind of interesting to see what they can pull off
from here.
Yes, more 2-packs. Do they do the single ones? I mean, people are buying them, so it's going to make money, and then that will feed into decisions about TV and movies and stuff like that. So Power Rangers is going to stick around. We love it. We'll have John one day give his definitive rankings of it. You know, when you have time.
Oh, yeah.
It's it's a decision to make, you know, why the original series is the best one, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Is it the best one?
You really just asked me that?
I'm just wondering. I didn't know if you're going to have like some spicy hot take to end this podcast.
One, yeah.
Okay. That's fine. I was like, I thought you were going to be like super controversial and be like, the Zeo Rangers are better. And be like, what?
Zeo was fun.
Yeah. I like the Lost in Space.
In Space definitely like revitalized the show.
Yep.
Because Turbo was...
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
But you don't want to get me on that because we'll be on for like another 3 hours and people don't have time for that.
That's right. Well, we'll wrap it up as John is already thinking of his rankings, and you know, maybe one day we'll do that. Let us know on our social media pages if you want John to give his definitive rankings.
Or you can give your ranking. We can compare.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for listening and tuning in. We really appreciate it. Again, please, if you have a chance, go to our social media websites. Let us know what you think of the show. Give us some feedback. Give us some topics that we can discuss. Remember, we're on Twitter and we're on Facebook at EnterCodePod. We're on Instagram at EnterCodePodcast. And again, you can search anchor.fm/EnterCodePodcast and you can find us.
And don't forget that YouTube channel.
Yes,
Please
right.
check it out.
That's
Let us know what you think.
If we get more subscribers, then we can change the URL so it's like youtube.com/whatever.
Nice.
I think we have to get 100. So
spread the word.
We got some work to do. We would love as many of you as you can to follow or subscribe. Sorry, I keep saying follow. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Then we can change the URL, and we just, you know, we enjoy talking about all kinds of stuff, and we enjoy unboxing collectibles.
We just enjoy being big kids and just. We need some fun in this crazy world we live in.
Yeah. Pandemic world has been hard, so we're bringing some enjoyment to your lives. Hopefully. Awesome, dude. Next week's gonna be big.
It is. I'm excited.
That's right. Again, good luck to all those who are hunting for consoles. Just hit F5 and refresh a lot.
And good luck fighting those bots.
Yes, exactly. They're going to be out in full force, so be patient. But hopefully you'll have some good stories, and you know, maybe next episode, if we're lucky, we can talk about our impressions and see what we like and how things are going.
Oh,
so awesome. All right, everyone, take care of yourselves, be good, and we'll see you next time.
Later.
Peace.